Hi, my name is Mark Adams, and welcome to the Private Label Report. This is a podcast where I invite you into my office and we talk about all things Amazon private label selling. Pull up a chair. Let's get started. Today we've got an interesting topic, how to get more reviews. Well, okay, let's start out and say, let's talk a little bit about reviews, and then we're going to go into some ways that you can actually find and get more reviews. One of the most important things to having success on Amazon is getting reviews. A lot of controversy within that topic right now going on within the Amazon community. Obviously, always ongoing changes and different things of doing and getting reviews. First, to start off, let's just go over a little bit of context, a little bit of information. Two types of reviews, unverified and verified. Unverified is when somebody hasn't bought your product and they leave a review. These reviews really don't count for very much in the Amazon algorithm, and really, other than just maybe being a positive review, don't have a lot of value to anything whatsoever. And in most cases, Amazon literally will take those down. What Amazon's looking for is what's called a verified review. And all that is simply something to where somebody has bought your product, whether at full price or a discount, and then they go and they write a review after the fact. Many of you as Amazon sellers know, or if you're thinking about getting the Amazon business, that reviews are tremendously important to your overall sales. And I think they help in a couple of different ways. One, I always think of the restaurant, where say you're traveling and you see two restaurants. There's two cars in one restaurant, and the one right next to it has 50 cars in the parking lot. Well, okay, you're hungry, and which restaurant are you going to go? Probably the one that has the 50 cars, because the reviews work the same way. I think there's a lot of, quote, social proof, I guess is the modern term that's used. But if you look at that, if you have one item that has 2 reviews and another has 50, and all things being equal, you're going to get the item that has the 50 reviews. And that's the same way it works across the board with all products. So it's imperative that you do everything you can to get reviews, not only to help it get higher in the sales listing, but to be a more credible and viable product in the eyes of your potential buyers. Now, as we all know, the algorithm in Amazon is really 3 things. It's your sales velocity, it's your number of sales, it is your quantity of reviews and the quality of the reviews you get, and then also your conversion rate, which is how many people buy versus see your product. Now, if you end up doing and giving away some of your products you review or doing it at a deep discount, that helps on all 3 of those categories, because one, it registers as a sale. The person's coming in, you're getting 100% buying conversion on that particular item, which is going to increase your overall conversion percentages. And then you get another review for people to be able to see and go and do. So literally from an Amazon sales standpoint, we live in a world of reviews. One of the things you're seeing as reviews have become easier to get over the last year or so is you're seeing where, at least in the U.S. market, where maybe a year ago, 50 reviews might have been enough to make a difference. I think in most cases now, I think you probably need at least 100 reviews. And if you're a seller, I think the goal is to get as many reviews as you can possibly get, because part of it is if you'll always see that the number one selling items in most categories will have several hundred reviews. And that's obviously a factor of being able to go and get sales, because really just organically, somewhere 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5%, depending on the market of the item, is what you're going to get naturally. If you do some things after the fact to get that, then of course you're going to have some higher percentages. But what I want to talk about today is maybe just some different ways to get reviews, because all that's good and fine if you understand it, but I can hear you now, okay, Mark, tell me how to get reviews. Well, okay, let's see if we can do that. Some of the traditional ways, let's talk about some of those first, and maybe some different and more creative ways to do that. The first thing you do, I think, is to go out and try and go through your friends and family. And of course, obviously, there's nothing new or unique about that. And literally what you're going to do is approach them and then go out and just ask them to do it. Now, again, we've all heard the phrase herding cats, and you're going to have your friends and family say, oh, I'd love to do that. I'd love to help you out. A week later, 2 weeks later, nothing. You're getting irritated because they're your aunt, they're your friend, they're your cousin, whatever else. It's like, order the bleeping product. It takes you 15 seconds. I had this to do. I had that to do. So you're going to find out if you do that once, that's not the ideal way to do it. And I think when most people go through that in the beginning, that's what they count on. They get a few reviews, enough to get them going, but it can be frustrating in the long run. So the other thing to do, I guess, is what you'll find is that many people will go out and pay for reviews. And if you look at Amazon's terms of service, it says you're not paying for a certain review. So all these groups, and many of them are fine, but just realize that a lot of these groups have been put together with Facebook ads where the people that they're having review are simply looking for free products. Many times they'll order the product for the deep discount, $1 or less, and then they still won't end up leaving a review. It's very frustrating, very difficult to do that as an Amazon seller. And then 2, there's always a possibility that in groups of people you don't know, those codes and different things can be shared to where other people can buy the codes and they're never going to review. That will help your conversion and sales percentage, but also you don't want to give away but a certain amount of products for free. So if you are going to use one of the review groups that are springing up everywhere, be very, very careful of what you're doing. I think they can have validity, but I think you just need to double check and take some precaution before you need to go some of those routes. Some of the other things that you can do, I think this is something that most of us, at least here in the United States, live very close to a college. And I don't know if you realize this or not, but all college students have automatically a Prime account through Amazon. So if you have a particular product that would be of interest to a group of college students, whatever that might be, you go in, you find that fraternity, that sorority, that club, that class, that whatever it is, and offer to give everybody in that class your product at a deep discount in exchange for a review. And because that concept to them is, hey, we're getting in their mind very deep discounted or almost semi-free stuff, you're going to get a lot of response from following up and do that. Because again, a lot of them have Prime. So that's a nice way to do it. If you go to any business networking events or different things whatsoever, you can always have a business card created with a code on it that is maybe a lesser discount off of that, and hand that to them and ask people if they will do that. Or again, the cost of getting cards printed is what? $10, whatever it is. You can do something for a limited time and make sure the card, you have an expiration on the code, and hand that out at your next networking event or wherever you're around a large amount of people. Now, again, when you do this, you don't want to walk up and say, hi, I'm John, here's my product, I want you to buy it and I'll give you a discount on it. People are going to run from you to the hills if that happens. You obviously want to use normal manners, common sense, decency, talk to somebody, and just give it some time, and don't just jump in and ask somebody to review your product for you. And you will have to explain to them, maybe even put instructions on the back of the card of how to leave a review and do things, because again, not everybody is part of the Amazon world as we all tend to believe sometimes. So that's another interesting way to go about doing that. What we've done within my Head Start community, which is my course and community, is something that's very, very different. And we've tried to solve this issue because, again, I think this is probably one of the hardest things for those of us who are Amazon sellers. We actually have formed a marketing co-op within our community where our members get together and we review each other's products. We literally will discount our items to a penny, send them out once a month, and then all of our other members who are part of the review group will then go and order and then not only sell our feedback, but also leave a review for that product. So that works out extremely well. And we have almost 100% participation from people who are in the group leaving products, because inevitably here in our group, I've decided to put people together who or the groups have come together because their incentive is, because as long as they review other people's products, their products are eligible for review as well. And it's part of the membership. There's no cost to come in and be part of our review group whatsoever. So obviously we're doing everything within the terms of service and not violating anything in any way. But we've seen lots of our products go from, or members' products go from several pages down into first page products, and then they go on and have a successful launch and product and viable product and profit after that. So I think at least internally we've solved what we're doing, and that's one way to do things there as well. But getting reviews is obviously very, very important. However you do that, however you find them, reviews are gold. So if you come across people in forums, you can always do reviews, different things that way. There are lots of different ways to do things and getting reviews. But as far as your promotion of your product goes, I think it's imperative that you dedicate a lot of your time and certainly some of your marketing budget to being able to get reviews. Now, after you get reviews, that's when you really want to turn on PPC. And then I wouldn't encourage you to do PPC before that. But again, that's a whole other topic that we'll talk about. But anyway, with that said, that's some unique ways to, short and sweet today, some unique ways to get some reviews, some out-of-the-box thinking, and then as well as some traditional things. So whatever you do to be successful on Amazon, you're going to need to get some reviews. So again, whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on iTunes, however you're here, blog, thank you so much for being here, and see you on the very next podcast.